Hello, I'm Kat, and welcome back to my channel. You are going to be hearing some cars going by and some stuff, public world, because I'm sitting in front of a window, and the window is open because it's hot as hell up here. So, yeah, I'm sitting in a room upstairs, currently, because my boyfriend is downstairs playing video games. Also, the sun is going down, so the shadowing is super great. I don't have any other lighting up here, so, yeah. Today we are going to talk about the Buffy reboot and how I feel about it and my opinion on it, because I've mentioned this before in other videos, but Buffy is the best show in the entire world. I am the biggest fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and so when I heard that they were going to do a Buffy reboot, much like everybody else who is a huge Buffy fan, I was very upset about it, because to me, it's like, why take something that is already great and fuck it up by trying to, like, do something else with it? So naturally, I was really, really upset. And part of me was like, okay, well, you know, like, it might be fine because Joss Whedon is a part of it. It might be great. But at the same time, no. Just no. But yeah, so currently it is in the works. I don't know if it's going to happen still because it's just being talked about, but I think it's going to happen. I really do. But, so, yeah, I'll keep losing my train of thought. But anyway, I keep saying that. I just made a video about some Dollar Tree Halloween decoration haul, and I keep saying because I keep losing my train of thought, and I swear it's because it's so hot up here that it's like the heat is messing with my brain, but also I haven't made a video in such a long time that it's like I don't remember how. See? There it is. You know? I guess take a shot or something every time I say the word But, yeah. Clearly, from this subject, it kind of makes me feel weird, and it's because part of me is super excited because I love the Buffyverse. It is one of my favorite places and my favorite shows. I watch Buffy at least twice a year, every year, no matter how many times I know who's gonna die, what's gonna happen, who she falls in love with, stuff like that. I love it every time. So when I heard that they were gonna make a reboot, I was quite upset, like I just said before, because to me this show means a lot for many reasons, but mostly because back in the day, girls were taught to be dainty and helpless, and that guys feel better when you're helpless and like girls that are helpless, and the girl was never the hero. It was always the guy that was the hero. And I think Buffy and how feminist and feminine forward it is helped girls. It was one of those shows, because there was other shows, but it was one of those shows that helped girls realize that you can be the badass, you can be the hero, you don't need a guy to help you, you can get through something by yourself. I mean, sure, it is helpful if a man is there, but you can be strong and independent and a badass girl, a badass woman, and not need a guy to be the hero for you. You don't need to be the girl stuck in the tower waiting for a man to save you. You can save yourself. And Buffy was one of those shows that helped girls realize that. Seeing, you know, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Allison Hannigan and all these people, all these females, Charisma Carpenter, be these badass women, both in Buffy and Angel, because Charisma Carpenter's character, Cordelia, was a badass character in Angel. So to see that was probably so helpful for females. And I think that was one of the shows that helped pave the way to show that. And it was one of the shows that helped pave the way for other TV shows to make women the hero. Along with like Xena and Wonder Woman and stuff like that, you know, powerful, strong women kicking ass and not needing a guy to save them from their tower. And so I think it was also good for younger men too to see that, not just women, but I think it was good for men as well, for really anybody, for girls young to women that were older and men as well to see that. I think that was really very, very cool. So when I heard that they were going to take Buffy, that something that was so iconic and so revolutionary, and reboot it, I was like, no. Hell no. And I was like, that's not going to happen. No fan of the Buffyverse is going to let that happen. But then, as time went on, and then the lady that was cast, or the showrunner of the show, she tweeted something, and she said that basically, in the shortest Cliff Notes version, that Sarah Michelle Gellar is the only Buffy, there's only one Buffy, and that they are not making a reboot, that they are making a continuation. So in actuality, it's not a reboot. That Buffy is not, the new Buffy show is not a reboot, it's a reimagining. And so when I heard that, I was like, maybe that could be really cool. Of course, I still have reservations because it's the Buffyverse, and I don't need anybody messing with it. But at the same time, it could be really very cool. I'm just hoping that they don't call it Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I hope they call it something else that makes sense in the Buffyverse, because I am all for continuing the story of the Buffyverse and seeing how they take that, because, spoiler alert if you've never seen Buffy, at the end, she awakens all the Slayers in the entire world. All the girls that were chosen to be potentials became Slayers. And so I think it would be really cool to see like how they take that and continue that and show the world with Slayers in it. But also, like, there's multiple Hellmouths. It's not just in Sunnydale. There's multiple Hellmouths in the world. And it would be really cool to see, like, who the Slayer is and what happens, and especially in our modern time and all the shit that's going on in our world now, it'd be kind of cool to see how they take that and how they run with it. So part of me is like, yeah, like, I'm super excited, let's see how this goes, let's do it. Part of me is like, they're gonna fuck it up, much like they did with Charmed, because I don't understand why they're calling it Charmed, because it's not Charmed, and I don't understand that show. I'm still gonna give it a shot, just to see what it is, but I hate that they're calling it Charmed, because there's only one Charmed to ever exist. It doesn't need to be redone, because the way that they did Charmed and the way they ended it was fine. So I have my own opinion about that, but I am excited that Joss Whedon is going to be a part of it, because I really feel like if Joss Whedon wasn't a part of the show that was supposed to be a continuation of the Buffyverse, it would suck and it shouldn't happen. But since he's going to be a part of it because he's a friggin' genius, then I'm more down for it than I am against it now that I've heard that it's more of a continuation. So for those people out there that are pissed off about it, remember, even though you're reading articles that say reboot, it's not a reboot, it's a reimagining, because there is a difference between the two. A reboot is taking a show and continuing it from where it ended, with the same characters, basic same storyline, stuff like that. A reimagining is taking the same universe and making it into something else, and creating something else from that skeleton of a universe. That's basically what it is. It's a reimagining. So it's not a reboot. And I have to remember that in myself, that it's not a reboot. It's not a reboot. They're going to ruin it. Sarah Michelle Gellar is the only Buffy, but it is a reimagining, so I'm kind of excited to see how that goes, of course, if it happens. Another show that I'm pissed off about that ended, just side note, is Shadowhunters, and that's a whole different video on itself. I know that was announced a long time ago, but I'm still processing it, and I'm really excited for the B-side of the third season, but I get that it was a lot of money because all that stuff that was happening in it, but it had such a huge fan base, and I don't get it. But I did hear rumors that they're going to take the show kind of more on the dark artifices. I don't think that's the word. But the other book, one of the other books, her most recent books, like Lady Midnight, taking that and making that into a show with the characters in it. Which I don't understand why, because that's going to take a lot of money too. I don't know. Anyway, again, that's a whole different show. But that, I just said again. That is my opinion on the Buffy reboot, really the Buffy reimagining. Is basically, I'm kind of teetering between no and yes. Because now that I know that it's a reimagining, and that they're just continuing the story in a different way, and that they're making a story, like, continuing a story in the Buffyverse, but not Buffy itself. I'm kind of excited, because I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I love Angel. They're two of my favorite shows, and it'll be really cool, because we've gone for so long without something from the Buffyverse other than the graphic novels, so I'm actually really kind of excited for that. I just hope that it's good, and that it's not disappointing, and that they don't besmirch something that is already so good, but also has transformed television for women, and even for men. And I hope that they don't ruin that, because I know that for some people it is something that was revolutionary and made them feel good, and I just hope they don't ruin it, because that would really suck. But I do think that because Joss Whedon is a part of it, it'll be fine. I'm also excited to see how they do it, because technology now is a lot better. So I hope that they keep the vampire look and everything the same, but they can do so much more cool stuff with the technology now, so that's going to be really cool. But yeah, that is my current opinion on the Buffy reboot reimagining thing. And also, like, there were some loose ends that weren't covered when Buffy ended that, you know, that could be covered, like the girl that turned invisible because she was bullied so much, and how they took her to this facility that is for, like, assassinations and stuff like that. They never figured, like, they never said how that ended or what happened to her. That could be really, really freaking cool to go with, or, like, to just know, like, what they do, or take some of the graphic novel stuff after the show ended and, like, take some of that, like when Dawn becomes a giant, or the fact that Dawn and Xander become a couple, you know, or stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that could be covered in this new Buffy reimagining. So the more I talk about it, the more excited I get, the more hopeful I am. And I am going to watch it. I am going to give it a chance, because I am a huge fan of Joss Whedon and all the work that he does, and I'm going to support it as much as I can, and hopefully I won't have to riot with the other people if it's terrible. So, yeah, that is my opinion on that. I'd like to know other people's opinions, so if you have an opinion on the Buffy reboot, let me know. Count how many times I say the word because I keep losing my train of thought. And yeah, I have a cow staying. Chick-fil-A cow. There's a box full of, like, Beanie Babies over here. You know, so that's kind of cool. But thank you for joining me in this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, or just join my weird family and nest, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell if you want to be told for some reason whenever I make videos. Lately I haven't, so I can understand the hesitation. Again, oh my god, I'm gonna watch this video back, and I'm gonna hate myself more. Yeah. I hope that you have a wonderful day and a beautiful night, and this is Kat signing off. Bye.